48 hours, he's with me. So, and we gonna go.
Came into Diddy's circle, and that tape you referenced of the two of them about to spend 48 hours together or having just was disturbing. And there's no question he had a lot of exposure to this.
Oh my God, you guys. Megyn Kelly is absolutely losing it on Diddy after Justin Bieber's shocking confession lit the internet on fire. While every other so-called journalist out there is staying quiet, hiding behind polished smiles, Megyn, she's fearless. She doesn't care about Diddy or his scary crew. She doesn't care about keeping it safe. She has one mission: expose the truth with receipts. And she's doing it like only Megyn Kelly can. Every single time.
A very difficult spot because he's been abused.
Yeah.
And this brings up a lot, especially for a man.
And let me tell you, she's connecting dots no one else dares to connect. She's asking the questions people are terrified to even whisper. She's dragging the spotlight onto the darkest corners everyone else wants to keep hidden. And then comes Bieber. Justin Bieber himself opening up, finally peeling back the curtain on what those so-called mentorship parties with Diddy were really like. And honey, it doesn't stop there, because Bieber also dropped another name linked with Diddy. And let me warn you, when you hear it, your blood will boil.
Hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me.
So here's the tea. Why now? Why is Megyn dropping these receipts at this moment? What did Bieber reveal that's got her this riled up? And why is Diddy suddenly the eye of this hurricane? Oh, buckle up, because it's about to get messy.
When I was younger, it's confusing when you're young because that person loves.
Picture this. You're just a kid, barely a teenager. You've got dreams bigger than the sky, raw talent, and that spark everyone can see. And suddenly, the entire world wants a piece of you. But here's the heartbreaking truth. The adults who should be protecting you, they don't see you as a kid. They see dollar signs. They see a brand, a money-making machine. Innocence against power? Please. We all know how that story ends. It's ugly every single time. And no one proves it clearer than Justin Bieber. He was just 15. 15. A YouTube channel, a guitar, a sweet kid from Canada. Then boom, global superstar overnight, millions of fans screaming his name, platinum hits, flashing lights. But behind the sparkle, there was rot. There was manipulation, exploitation, and an industry that failed him spectacularly. Back then, people ignored it. They looked away. But years later, oh boy, an old clip resurfaces. A clip of Bieber with none other than Sean Diddy Combs. And when you watch it now, with everything we know, you cannot unsee it. Justin's there, nervous, awkward, just a child. Diddy grinning into the camera like it's all a joke. But then, Diddy slips in this eerie warning, a sly comment telling Justin not to spill the secrets of what goes on behind closed doors.
And he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Justin laughs, but not the laugh of a carefree kid. No. It's the uncomfortable laugh of someone who feels trapped. The world moved on back then, shrugged it off. But now, with lawsuits crashing down on Diddy, with his empire crumbling like sand, that laugh looks like a red flag the size of Times Square. And who called it out loudest? Megyn Kelly. She jumped on her show and went scorched earth. She said it plain and clear. No sugarcoating, no dancing around it. Let's be clear, she said, her voice literally on fire. A 40-year-old man bragging about having a 15-year-old boy in his custody for 48 hours is not funny. It's not mentorship. It's predatory. And honestly, she's dead right. Look at the pattern. Diddy bragged about being Usher's so-called guardian when Usher was a teen. Then Bieber, always young, always vulnerable, and always wrapped up under the disguise of mentorship. Megyn hit parents everywhere with the gut punch question, would you ever hand your 15-year-old son to a powerful man for 48 hours unsupervised? Absolutely not. Never. But in Hollywood, it was played off like some kind of joke. And yes, Diddy himself even admitted he had these kids in his custody. The receipts are endless.
Parents threw him to the wolves, literally.
What mother would give her 15-year-old over to Sean Combs for a weekend? Who would do that? No matter how badly your son and you want him to become a star.
And let's talk about Bieber himself. In 2020, he broke down in an emotional interview. This wasn't a staged pop star pity moment. No, Justin opened up about just how brutal it was being that young in the industry. He even said one of his biggest fears was seeing Billie Eilish go through the same nightmare. You could hear the raw pain in his voice. That wasn't fame speaking, it was survival. But when Justin was spiraling back then, breaking down in public, did the media protect him? Nope, they mocked him. They turned his trauma into a punchline. They labeled it a meltdown when in reality it was a desperate cry for help.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So if she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters, and I just want to protect her, you know? I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon it.
And Megyn nailed it again. She pointed out that Justin's awkward laugh in that Diddy clip, that wasn't cute, that was pain. That was a teenager screaming without words. And this isn't just about one man. This is about an entire industry that thrives on silence. An entire culture where protecting the brand always outweighs protecting the kids. Doesn't it sound familiar? The church scandals, the sports scandals, Hollywood casting couches. Again and again, the powerful get shielded while the vulnerable get crushed. Corey Feldman has been shouting about this for decades. Britney Spears? Justin survived. He's rebuilt his life through faith, through therapy, through his marriage. He's been open about his mental health. He found a second chance. But don't get it twisted. Survival doesn't erase scars. Look at what it cost him. The drugs, the breakdowns, the desperate need to escape. That is the ugly price of survival in this industry. And it should terrify us all. So now, let's peel back another layer. Justin's battle with drugs, depression, and the chaos that almost swallowed him whole. If you've seen his YouTube docuseries Seasons back in 2020, you know it wasn't sugarcoated. He laid it bare. Lean, pills, MDMA, mushrooms, things no teenager should ever be drowning in. And it wasn't about party vibes. Oh no, this was about pain, a desperate attempt to numb the trauma inside. He battled depression, he battled anxiety, and then came the physical toll, Lyme disease, Ramsay-Hunt syndrome that literally paralyzed half his face, forcing him to cancel tour dates. That's when the fantasy of fame finally cracked wide open. Behind the glossy magazine covers was a kid trying not to fall apart, but instead of crumbling completely, Justin fought back. He leaned into his faith, he leaned into therapy, he leaned into Haley, the woman who became not just his wife, but his anchor. He took a step back from the circus, from the flashing lights, from the suffocating demands of superstardom. Fame didn't save him, he saved himself, choosing family, choosing healing, choosing stability. Behind those walls were experiences no child should ever be around. Adult activities, blurred boundaries, innocence lost way too early. Usher would later admit it. Those days weren't about guidance. They were about indulgence. And for years, he kept that pain tucked away, pouring it into his music instead of spilling it in interviews. But now, as the fire around Diddy grows, Usher's past takes on a whole new light. His careful words tell the story of a boy forced to grow up too fast. A boy who thought he was being guided, when in reality, he was being exposed. When the video of Diddy assaulting Cassie exploded across social media, 50 Cent didn't hold back for a second. He pounced, he mocked, he dragged, he announced a Netflix docuseries no less, with proceeds set to help victims. Can you imagine the audacity? Turning Diddy's downfall into a full-on cultural reckoning. And then came July 2025. The verdict. The world held its breath. Sean Diddy Combs, found guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Acquitted of racketeering and sex trafficking, yes, but guilty nonetheless. Because let's be real, Justin's awkward laugh, Usher's blurred childhood, Megyn Kelly's fire, 50 Cent's rage, these aren't just gossip tidbits. They're alarms. Sirens warning us that Hollywood's so-called mentorship has a dark side. And if we don't learn from it, if we don't demand accountability, the cycle will repeat. And the next Justin, the next Usher will be sitting in front of a camera years later, broken, whispering the same story all over again. And that should haunt us all.